right, so he's in. Hey,
Okay.
Simon,
Now
Bobber.
we just have to.
Okay, I'll go to the live stream channel. Tell him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You have to share the
Oh yeah,
share
actually,
the link, of course.
Simon already did it. Thanks, Simon.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Well, pretty good little morning, right? Interesting start.
Yeah, quite a down.
I caught that
downtrend.
perfect measured move for. I caught that in 6 lot, right? So I could be done for the day. Actually,
Nice.
yeah, I was just so God, it was so perfect. Holy shit! I was like, oh come on, is it going to really pivot there? And I'll be damned if it didn't. Yeah, good swing, right? This is good swing structure because the moves you're getting follow through. We're not getting well. It's a little choppy now, but the moves have been good. Okay, so we gotta get some other people on here to ask us something, because this otherwise it's just you and me talking, which would be fine with me. That might be kind of fun, right? Actually, just to go through a day and record it. Well, I don't know if I would buy it right here where you're right in a golden zone, but it looks like it wants to go. You've got one. Well, you got a little golden zone box here. You're between a buy side and a sell side. So thus we go sideways. Okay, so now live stream. Did he put it up? Yeah, I'll do an at everybody, at everyone. All right, that ought to get a few people posting up.
So far, it's just you and me, I think.
And there's Simon. I think Simon's here. I just did a post at everyone. I think Simon's here. He just says hello. Let's see if he's got. There's a check mark. So does he? I think. Hello world. Maybe he was just the first. Yeah, there he is. Bobber 70. Okay, so I got one of my fans here. He's looking for the link. Okay, let me get him. He's a sweet guy, but he doesn't. All right, let me give him the link.
Oh, there are two more.
All right, there we go. Hey, trader dude, that's a good handle. Grumpy OG. Oh, we got a new avatar for Grumpy OG. It's funny, how you develop a vision in your mind based on avatars and names and handles. I'm sure it's different, right? When they finally saw me and you, and it's the clash of the theater of the mind versus reality. We get a few more. Okay, so Trader Dude, Grumpy OG, Simon's in. Unicorn 309, he should be in because he just asked me for the link. All right, guys, there we go. We'll get a few more. I can't do an at everyone. Oh, why not? Huh. I have to fix that, Simon. I'm not sure why you can't do that. Maybe we just have to give you more, I don't know, admin rights or something.
Yeah, probably.
I'm at a constant, it's a constant struggle for me with all these things we're trying to coordinate. But we got this one working. That's a good sign. Okay, so look. Oh, that's interesting. So look, do you see Erwin on the side that we have JPM and Ivan also? I wonder how that's working. Oh, you know what that is? Mm-hmm. This is where I like. It's so confusing to me. I used the link that Restream gave me, but I think what happens is now, yeah, that's what's fucking us up there. Oh fuck. Okay, so that's the wrong link. So Simon's got the wrong link, or Simon's got the right link.
Yeah, they just need to go to YouTube.
Yeah.
That's the right thing.
So my bad, guys. Here.
Oh, you posted to it. Oh.
I posted the Restream link, thinking that's what it was. And let me give him this one. Oh no, that's. Oh fuck! I don't know if that's gonna do it or not. God, this I'm telling you, this is a nightmare for me every fucking day, every day. Oh, hang on. So I got to get it. Stand by. Wrong link.
Yeah, that's the correct one, Simon.
Simon has the right one. So we're Simon. You got it. Just grab the link from YouTube. All right. Would you post it, Simon? I just go to that link. Should not use Restream. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So that's this fucking Restream. I've now grown to hate this thing. Anyway, all right. You better take it before I pull my hair out again, because it's just every day this fucks me up. It looked for you at 8:01. Did not see you. Sounds like relaxation. Oh, there's a new handle at 8:01. I don't know why you looked for us at 8:01. Did not see you. I don't get that one. All right. Okay, we got enough in here, so I'm going to turn it over to Erwin, because you guys get enough of me. Okay.
And I'm going to turn it over to the guys in here.
Yeah.
To start asking me some questions.
The Discord. Sounds like relaxation. I tell you what, man, we're struggling with this. It's me. It's not Erwin. It's me on my end. I'm trying to use this Restream thing. Anyway, okay, take it away, guys.
So, do we have any questions coming in already? Don't think yet.
Wait.
Well, until there are some questions coming in, maybe I can go over what I've been working on.
I want to see that.
So one of the things I was working on is the getting the footprint indicator to work without tick replay. I guess most of you probably know you have to enable tick replay in here to get the footprint indicator to work, and that's needed for, I think, almost every footprint indicator on the market. You need to tick replay. But I found a way to make it work without tick replay. So that's a lot better, because now you can use it, for example, in Bloodhound.
Is that the main advantage of no tick replays, that you can use it in Bloodhound? Because I'm looking at that going, why do I care? I guess, but if you're using Bloodhound, I guess you do care.
Yeah, that's one of the main things. And without tick replay, you don't get this the historical data corruption anymore, which we see a lot happening in NinjaTrader. So it seems to be working pretty well. The only thing I notice is that for range bars, the values are a little bit off sometimes, the numbers. I contacted NinjaTrader about it, and they're looking into it. It seems to be a NinjaTrader related bug. So hopefully they will fix that. But yeah, that's so far so good. And yeah, indeed, Simon, it's also less stressful on the CPU if you
and you could add more days.
Tick replay. Yeah, you add more days, and so it has only advantages. Yeah, and when that's done and finished, I'm going to do the same for the AutoTrader, the footprint AutoTrader, and the buy-sell momentum indicator as well.
Nice.
So somebody asks, is there a tutorial on the footprint? Well, we have the website, and we try to make that a living document. I know a lot of people are asking for a PDF, but if I create a PDF, it would be just the same as you see.
Yeah, you'd essentially be copying and pasting the web page.
Yeah, and a PDF, it's easy for me to add something to the website and update it right away. And to create a PDF is just more work. So we try to put everything on the website. If there's something missing, then of course just let me know, and I will update it. But there's a lot of information in there. So if you haven't looked at it, then that would be the first place to start. If you are asking about, is there a tutorial on how to trade the footprint chart, then Sam has done some videos on that, so you can look at it on YouTube.
Yeah, and let me just add to that. There's no one way to trade it. It's just my interpretation, right? So I look for certain things. Erwin looks for slightly different things, right? Which the other day we had a good dialogue here where I was thinking short, he was thinking long, and there's no one right way. It's kind of you gravitate in on what you see there and where you see benefit from it. But the one thing that I think he and I both would agree on is trying to read the price level it may not be the right way to approach it, trying to read each level of 137 versus 161, right? Oh, time to buy it, right? That can be a little, I don't think that's how you get the maximum value from it.
No, exactly. Yeah. So Grumpy, do you anticipate NinjaTrader to sunset the desktop platform? Not at the moment. I think they they released this web platform, as we all know, which is just a copy of the old Trade of 8. But it's so restricted that I don't think any serious trader will use it. I think they will probably use it more to attract new traders. But
and it'll probably get better. It'll likely get better.
Yeah, it needs to get a lot better because there are so many things you cannot do on the web platform at the moment. So yeah, not at the moment. Chacho, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Do you still offer the 5-month lease? No, we don't. The reason is that the system got hacked. We were using a third party for the subscription-based licensing. That part got hacked, so we had to turn it off. But the good news is that we are in beta at the moment for a new lease subscription-based platform. It won't be buy to lease; it will be just a subscription. It's in beta now. We have some users testing it. So hopefully we can release that soon.
And that's the one where you pay shit, you have to explain to me. So there's a flat rate for a single indicator. If someone wanted to use 5 indicators, then they're going to use it's a different rate, and they would just pay that monthly for as long as they want to use it.
Yeah, so you lease an indicator for $75 a month, and you can choose any indicator you want, and you can even switch every day between indicators. So let's say you lease the footprint, and then after a week you say, well, I want to play with the PATS indicator. Then you can just use that one. So you are free to switch between indicators.
But it's 75 per indicator. So if I wanted the footprint chart and the McGinley River, I wanted those two, it would be 150 for the month.
No, we have discounts if you are going to lease more than multiple indicator.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, if multiple. Yeah, so the then it will be a little bit cheaper. Yeah. Okay, let's see.
Ivan's got one. Ivan Rangel.
Yeah, yeah. Hello, guys. I'm using a trial of footprint. Can you explain min, max, delta? Yeah, so that's you can see it here on my chart, right? The delta is the difference between the total buy and the total sell volume inside the bar. So, for example, if we look at this bar, at the end of this bar, when it was closed, we had a delta of 440, meaning there were 440 more buy contracts and sell contracts in this entire bar. But during the bar, while it was building, the max delta, the highest delta reached was it moved 672, and the medium delta reached during this bar was -1. So it's the highest and the medium's delta which occurred during this bar, and the delta here is the end result when the bar was closed. And these max and min deltas give you a good impression of if the buyers or sellers are in control. For example, if you see a bar where the delta closes on its min delta, like here we have a delta of -1800. So it closed at -1800, and the min delta, so the lowest delta during this bar, was also -1800. So it closed on its min delta, and that's a very bearish sign. And the same goes for the max delta. If it closes on the max delta, then it's a very, very bullish sign.
You know what's telling in both of those, and just kind of in application, is if you look at both of those bars, your first thought is, "Oh my God, it's closing on the min delta," and look at the next bar. And the same thing with the other one where you had that 672. So it's effort versus results. A little bit of Wyckoff coming in there, right? It's because we have that massive down delta, and then the next swing is higher.
Yeah.
So that's exhaust.
Of course, you should always look at the context, right? I mean, a single bar closing on its mean delta in the middle of the range is not as strong as that it is closing on the mean delta at the high of the day or the lower of the day. That would be far more interesting than somewhere in the middle of the range. This guy won't stop today, it seems. Already told him I was in a live stream.
What happened?
Oh no, somebody's DMing me.
Oh.
Anyway, zero experience with the footprint, looking for tutorials for basics. Well, you can start with the videos from Sam.
Yeah, I've got 4 or 5 of them up there.
Yeah, that would be a place to start.
They're in the playlist. Who's asking that? Sounds like relaxation. Yeah, just if you go to our playlist, there you'll find them. If you just search footprint, there's, I don't know, 4 or 5 different ones.
Yeah, and I'm sure if you Google, then there's a lot of
plus on the web page, on the page of footprint.
Yeah, there's also one. Yeah. So you cannot log into the web version if you're using the NinjaTrader, the desktop version of NinjaTrader. I think you can, maybe not at the same time. Is that what you mean? I know I logged into the web version of NinjaTrader.
I logged in and immediately logged out. I was like, oh my God, this is not ready.
Yeah, indeed. Same here. Yeah. Okay, Erwin, I'm in the beta. Is there a way for us beta users testing the lease to add another lease? Yeah, if you're in the beta and you want to add another lease, then just give me a go. I indeed disable the link. But if you're in the beta already, then I can temporarily enable it for you, so you can add another one. Just give me a DM and we will set you up.
Well, there's a toughie for you on JPM.
JPM, I bought some of your indicators twice, so I can use it on my laptop for traveling. Is there a way to transfer indicators from a desktop to a laptop? Well, that should be done automatically for, I guess, 99% of our indicators. All indicators which use the new system, which where you have to put in your email and your contact ID, those switch automatically if you go to another PC. But note that you can only switch it once a day or once every 24 hours. So if you have it on your desktop and you go on holiday, you bring your laptop with you, then it should just work. But if you are switching multiple times a day, then you need a second license, because then basically you are using it on multiple PCs at the same time. But yeah, once every 24 hours, it will automatically switch for you. So it shouldn't. I hope that answers your question. Stefan, I'm leasing one indicator already, but if I want to add another, will the system adjust the price automatically? No, that's a pity, but that's the system we are using cannot do that. If you're leasing one indicator and you're going to lease another indicator, then it will just be the same price. If you lease 2 or more indicators at once, then the system sees are you doing that, and we can give you a discount. Yeah. Yeah, not at the same time. Okay. Okay. Well, it could be sounds like relaxation. That's not possible, but I was able to log in just fine in the website, in the web trader.
Well, I like that you have market extremes on your footprint. That's a good idea. Oh, something just hit. Look at all those zeros.
Yeah.
What is it? It's 1050 something.
Yeah, not really a reason for it.
Yeah, that's just a big iceberg just dropped.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, I mean, it looks like about a 600-700 lot just filled.
Yeah, and this is what I mean with context. I mean, just because you have a bar like this, would you go short here?
No, that's the worst place to go short. That's bait. That's retail bait.
Because if you look at the bars before it, I mean, there's more blue, more green in there than there is red. So
now, what's the big red triangle on the top of your candle?
Oh, that's a new indicator I'm trialing. It's a third-party indicator from Valtos.
Okay, I was just curious because it's one I didn't recognize.
Yeah, no, it's a new one. I was just trialing it. Not sure if it's any meaningful, but
yeah. Oh, I do the same all the time. I try stuff and see, is this something do we want to chase this?
Yeah, exactly. Giving us new ideas, and I think it's like our big trades indicator. Only he puts arrows above and below it. Yeah, I'm still trialing it, see if it works. Let's see. Why is different symbols showing above and below my chart, my bars than yours? Well, I think I have them. Maybe you'll mean this one, but that's not part of the footprint.
No, he's probably talking about the extremes.
Oh, you mean the yeah? This is the market internals indicator, which shows the tick on your chart, so you can see it already here, and I also have it in a separate window over here. And it just shows the yeah, the how would you say it, the buyers versus sellers on the chart. So I find it easy to have it on the chart than only over here. Yeah. Speaking of Valtos, do you find his strategy profitable? Yeah, I think his strategies are profitable. I did a webinar with the guy and where he live traded a couple of days, and he was profitable during this time. So I will give him that. But as always, I mean, you can give a profitable strategy to a trader, and one trader will make a fortune, and the other one will lose everything. In the end, I think most of the trading is not about the strategy. It's more about psychology and risk management and things like that. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone who's having a bad day, I'd be shocked if they aren't moving stops.
Yeah,
it's probably the most common thing we do, right? We you know, oh, I'll give it a little more, and then all of a sudden, then you're like, oh, sure, I'll average a price down, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're down $1,200. It's so easy to do, and the easy thing would be to just take the stop and reload. Yet we don't want to do it, right? That's the battle that goes on between our ears all day, every day.
Moving stops and adding to losing positions.
What I was thinking, could we make an indicator that would prevent you from doing it? You could put like a stop moving lock on. I
think our trade panel can do that already.
Oh, we can. So if you place the trade, it will prevent you from moving the stop. That would be probably the most valuable indicator we could produce.
Yeah, I think the trade panel already does that for you. You can enable it to do it. Yeah.
Does it? I have to look at that.
Yeah, you can turn that on. So yeah. Oh, so never move stops, right? Even never. Yeah, you can move stops to reduce the risk, right? So you can move it to break even or reduce your risk. That's fine, but never increase your risk. That's a bad idea. JPM, the two small charts on the left side is the horizontal timer. No, that's just one of the. You mean this one?
That's Ninja.
Yeah, that's from Ninja, I think, one of their free indicators. I also have it here. I like to see when the bar ends is going to end.
Yeah, Ninja has one too.
Yeah, so this is the 5 minute and the 1 hour chart, and then I know when those charts bars are going to end. Yeah.
Let's see here. What's the latest update on the PATS indicator?
Oh, I'm gonna let you ask. Well, As maybe not everybody knows, but we are working on a complete rewrite of the patch indicator, so completely rewritten from scratch. At the moment, I have the Mac and the Brooks count working. The statistics are in, and those are the same statistics from the bar replay and the Bloodhound statistics indicator, so way more detailed than the statistics we have in the current version.
Nice.
And the next thing would be to add the order panel, so you can place the trades and let the indicator manage those trades. So yeah, it's moving along pretty nice. Probably 1 or 2, 3 weeks, and then it should be finished. And of course, it will be a free update for everybody who already has the patch indicator. So yep.
Ivan's got a couple for you.
It's okay to move the stop. Yeah, exactly, Ivan. You can use it to protect again, right? Yeah, that's perfect. I have a tendency to add to a small wet trade when indicators are in the direction I want. Should I only add to position once the initial trade is green? Yeah, that's what I am doing, but
that's a fine line, right? So it depends on your level of experience, I would say, right?
Yeah.
Because I will average down if I still like the trade. It kind of depends on the context. But you can get yourself in trouble doing that. Starts with a 2 lot, then it's a 4 lot, then it's a 6 lot. You got to be, there's got to be a limit in your mind. So you have to be clear on, the deal you're making with yourself as to how much you're risking.
Yeah.
Right. So if you said, okay, my max risk here is I'm willing to risk, name your number, 350, 650, whatever it may be, if you keep adding to it, you think, oh, all it has to do is move a little further. But if it moves a little further the other way, now you're in deep trouble. TDU order. I didn't think we have a limit on the Renko order panel. Well, maybe we do. Actually, I think in the buttons. I think he's right about that.
Yeah, it's the buttons indeed. Yeah, we should add an option to make that setting in here, because I think indeed that at the moment it's 1, 2, and 4 contracts maybe, which was fine when we didn't have the micros, but now with the micros, people are trading more contracts. So yeah, a good point, GPM. We should make that setting or something to allow for more contracts. Yeah.
I like that the way. So your low tick is set to 650. What's your low tick set to?
Low tick at the moment is 639.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I've got.
Yeah.
There's almost no trade I ever put on where the last thing I do is check the tick. It's just general. You want to have a feel for where it is, so it's just putting it on your chart can be helpful too. But that's why it's always it floats on top. It never goes away. I've always got it at the bottom corner of my chart, so I check it before I pull the trigger.
Yeah. The only thing is why I have it on my charts is it doesn't show me where it occurred. I mean,
that's a good point.
You can hover your mouse and you see, oh, it's 1044, but having it right here. I'm
going to do the same. I like that. I'm going to do it right now.
Yeah.
JPM got it. All right. Well, the market's playing nice. Boy, this is good trading today. I hope you guys are having a good day. This is look at these last two. Well, if you look at them on a candlestick, it's really good trading today. The swings are paying. I'm going to put my
still this channel is a bit weird. Well, I always like to draw these channels like you do.
Oh God, that is one of the most significant changes I've made to my trading over the last couple of months. Profoundly dramatic improvement. Just watching for the channel break.
Exactly, or the bounce. For example, this is not the most beautiful channel at the moment.
You're on a 5 minute. Yeah, you put that on a 2000, and all those little swings are perfect little break and retest and push to new extremes.
Yeah, but these will be the points where I would be looking for trade, right? So, for example, if it comes back here, bounce off this upper channel. So
you just got a double bottom down there.
Yep. Yeah, at the moment to do.
So that's it. So your time frames are 1 minute, 5 minute, and then what do you have? What's the other one? A 15 or 60?
This is the 60 minute.
60. Okay.
Yeah,
1 minute,
60,
5 minute, and a 60. Interesting.
Yeah, and the 60 I just use to find the levels where we can expect resistance. For example, let me put it. For example, if it comes here, then you know that when it comes here, it will have a reaction. So, and same if it comes back here.
So note that what he just said, guys. He's looking for not a breakout there. He's looking for a bounce there.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why I relentlessly harping on breakout traders getting nailed, because that's what they see. They see, oh, I'm going to go short there. Right at those pivots. Oh, there's the breakout, and that's why I try and be sure that you guys are not making that mistake, because that is the worst place to enter the market.
Yep. Now, for example, right here, I mean, we have this channel right here. It's now at a spot where I would be looking for a short, but I would now be looking at the footprint and have it confirm that we're going for a short. If we don't see it in the footprint, then I won't take a trade.
Yeah, I'm same. You want a decent set signal bar rather than just assume it's going to turn when you enter the market.
Yeah, it can just go through and go to the moon, right? I mean,
the one exception where I will be very aggressive and I will put on size when we're in the red zone, when I see 1100 over 1,000 on the tick, I click as fast as I can, because you don't have long before it corrects itself, but you can get 5 ticks there easily.
Yeah. Ivan, so when it's a good time to move to ES? Well, if you are still a bit timid, then I would just scale up in the micro. I mean, that's the beauty of the micro, right? You can scale up to 2, 4, 6, 8 contracts, and then when you're at 10 or more, then you can go to the full contract.
Right, and there, as I was saying yesterday, there's a real kind of a relaxation that happens when you're in micros. You don't sweat the entry. You can kind of test the waters and see if you got the direction right.
Yeah.
ODZ Capital, we don't, but it's not that we're not registered trade advisors, so there's liability there if we do it. So I was a broker for a long time. I got myself in trouble once with a client who was pissed, and there have been some litigation that has worked against people supposedly educating trading. We can't do it without the licensing to do it. So I think we get as close as we can, level areas of interest, that kind of thing, but pull the trigger, stop here, trade there, do that. You can't do it.
What is this? The name again of this huge company, which was, what was his name?
Who got sued?
Yeah,
Warrior Trading.
Sued for Warrior Trading. He was sued for millions.
He lost a $3 million lawsuit.
Yeah. Because he was live trading, and of course he was also scamming people.
No, it was he's some people love him, some people hate him, but the reason he got sued is he didn't put a disclaimer up. That's how they got him.
Crazy, yeah.
But we'll get you as close as we can. I tried to during the day, like just this morning. It was a nice trade at the pre-market. What was the pre-market low? It was a trade that was there. And it's funny, I mean, no two people are going to trade it the same way, which is kind of the appeal. It's you either love it or hate it about trading. No two people do it the same way. It's just, they don't.
No, exactly.
Which is kind of you know, you either love it or you hate it about the market that way. I just had that same conversation with my wife this morning as we were out walking our dog. She's saying, well, is it different every day? And I said, that's the beautiful thing about being a day trader is the market is new and fresh every day. There is no holdover from the prior day. It's a new day every day.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So they are trying. You see it, huh? You can see it in the delta from 1,000 to now -10. Not sure if they're going to make it, but they are trying.
Well, we're over VWAP now, so they're.
No, it looks like
right at a golden zone.
They push it higher. In the US, there's so much discussion about waiting for the open in New York, but I find myself like in the pre-market. Yeah, it's funny, Ivan. There was a study done some years ago where they found that the biggest moves in the US were done in the pre-market. So you can see it also on the for example on the 60 minutes. These big moves are always done overnight in the pre-markets.
Reports are often at 8:30, right? An hour before the market.
Yeah. So there is indeed a lot of opportunity to trade there, but it's so slow. There's no volume at all. But if you can handle that, then yeah, there's a lot of opportunity.
The hour and a half before the market open can often be good from 8 to 9:30. You have more volume picking up.
Yeah, and especially in the overnight, the footprint becomes a little bit harder to read because there's just less volume.
Right.
So I mean, if you scroll back, let's go. I mean, you can already see it. This is
you get a 5
you can still
lot.
read it. Yeah, 5 lot, 2 lot, 1 lot. So you probably need to put it then on a 5-minute chart or something to have it make sense.
What's the market doing? Looks like we're going to get a Madonna show here.
Yeah, it looks like it, right?
So the setup is good because we're coming into it, right? So this often, guys, you hear me say this. We don't want to be setting. Oh, this actually is going to be just perfect. If we come into it with high ticks, that's the one you want.
Well, thank you, OCD Capital. Appreciate that. But don't forget, Sam.
Big up. I cannot agree more. Oh, what's he agreeing with? The pre-market?
No, they are saying they're happy with me.
Oh, good.
And it's always nice to hear, right? Because well, you know, as all companies, we also have people who are not happy or have problems, and those are the things you as humans you tend to remember, right?
No shit. I could get 50 positive comments on a video. I get one negative, and that's all I can think about. I want to like reach out to the guy, call him up, and explain it to him.
Yeah, that's just human nature. So it's always nice to hear somebody's happy with what we do.
Yeah, where was I in there, Vitinix UK? I'm teasing. Erwin is the man. He's the maestro. I'm just along for the ride.
Can you discuss how to use the volume profile appearing on the left? I'll leave that up to Sam because I actually am not using the volume profile.
It's my favorite new indicator. Favorite. So, right? Well, it's. Let's see here. Let me see if we can.
Maybe you can switch to your chart.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it wider here. Okay, so how do I do share screen?
Yeah.
Entire window. Hang on. That one I think is what does it. Does that do it? Yeah.
There you are.
Okay. So let me move this over up here. Okay. Well, first, right. So as I was talking about, this is what your chart should look like. So I'll use this just to demonstrate. Here's the swing, here's the break, here's the new low, here's the swing, right? So now we're here. Now we double bottom here, right? So that's the break of the pattern here. But notice the divergence down here. You see it pretty clearly in the TDI, or what any R, it doesn't have to be TDI, NES RSI, right? So we're coming down here, we're double bottoming, but we got divergence. You can see it here as well, right? So you always want to kind of train your eye to look for that. Whoa, is that telling me something? So here, do we have anything, right? So note here, this is why this is particularly attractive, right? So we've got at the IB high, we have an imbalance, which is all the low volume node is telling you, is that we have an imbalance here because there was no trading here, right? That's always what we're trying to identify here at the POC and VWAP. You don't know what's going to happen there, right? There's lots of business gets done here, but everybody's fat and happy, like, oh, that's value. When we get to the edge of it, when we get up here, or if I've got something, well, I don't have anything below. These are just little imbalances. So often you'll see the market react there because there's no defense. There's nobody on the other side. So what that's all about is that print right there, right? That's why that's a low balance, because that's the only trading that was done here. So as we come into that, if right, I kind of will do it this way. If we come into that with high ticks, that's a trade you want. Now, doesn't mean, guaranteed winner. That's never what I'm saying. But that in terms of probabilities, if I can come into that and I get a new high tick, I'm going to take size on that. But I'm only after maybe 5 ticks. You're just after the reaction, because it could easily get up there. This is not uncommon where you would see this. You'd get up here, you'd get a little reaction, and then it'll go through because there's no resistance there. Now, you would have pre-mid, and you've got some other pivots up here. Those are all, you don't want to ignore any of those. Those are significant. That's why they're on the chart. But something like that can be just that reaction pivot that you're looking for, and it might just come right back here to where we have a high volume node. So, you might look at it this way. So if we pull this over here, here's high volume right here, right? There was enough trading done here. You would see that on the footprint as well. If we come up here, I've only got this one little trade that went down there. Shit, I can't probably tell you how much it was. If I look up to the footprint. Oh, there's like an 11 lot traded up there. That's it, right? So you have very low volume up here. Now you need this. These two have to work together. You don't want it, if it's at low ticks or even neutral ticks, I don't want the trade. I want it at high ticks. So at minimum would be the yellow zone, minimum. So that because you're looking for that I mean, just look at how this thing cycles, right? Up, down, up, down. It's when it goes up here and then it comes back to the midline and then goes up again. It's just buy programs, right? That's sell programs are not firing because it's just up tick, down tick. What's ticking up, what's ticking down. But amazingly consistent. How do you set up that tick chart 1 minute, Ivan?
We have a template for it.
Yeah, there we go. You just well, first you have to have the tick right available to you, which is per your broker, and then we give you the template.
It's when you install the
$5 for it.
When you install the indicator, you should get this template.
Okay. Yeah.
And you can use that one.
Okay. This is setting up nicely here. No divergence yet. I got a little bit of divergence here in the volume via the force. We're not getting as much. Oh shit! I should have the footprint up here, but I'm not going to change it. Let's see if we get it. You don't have to do it with footprint.
Yes,
we're in the yellow. Well, yes, you must own our foot. Well, I mean, it's certainly better, right? If you can see it, right? Because you want to see that reaction. Now, one thing that I have noticed a lot lately is these are getting front run, or we're tagging it, not breaking it, and then we're getting the reaction. It happened yesterday. You're getting a little bit of it right now. It's 2 ticks away. Some people are kind of onto this trade. I mean, I'm not the only one. I mean, I'm the only one I know of that teaches it, but I don't. Other people are got to be aware of it. Obviously, there's an algo that sits there. You watch it long enough, it's not hard to come to the same conclusion. Now, there's a little, right? That's a little bit of a tease. So one thing, if you do something like that, right? So we're coming right up into, there's the wick rejection up there. Well, there's the front run. So that's not ideal, right? Because look what happened to the tick. So now if we come back to it, it's got to circle all the way back. What you really want here is a new high tick. Now, but also note up here, you've got all of the, you've got the pre-market mid, which an algo will use anything it can. you've got another pivot up here. I've got some unfinished business up here. So I've got I've got golden zones galore. So even if we don't get the reaction here, you got to be mindful that you could get some of these pivots hitting up here. So it may set this up. Right? That's what I'd be looking for if we don't get the initial reaction. So I would not be anticipating a coast to coast kind of move. We filled the gap, didn't we? Yeah. Did we? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they gave that a little front run, 2 ticks. So we didn't quite make it to the imbalance, but my guess is that's going to get a reload. Now, that's a little bit negative. You would have preferred that it hit it right there, because if they come back to it now, that's where, let's see if I can do it here. If I do this, do you guys see it? Oh, you do. Okay, good. Right. That's a little teaser.
Yeah.
Now you got to be careful, because you got to think, right? I mean, is that the tease for the next time up here? You can, when they want to blow through it, you can see it, right? They come guns blazing, right? Volume, size, they push the market. But if we get a new high tick, that's one to take. The book is, you got limit orders up there, but they're not huge. And I've talked about this on some of my live streams. What I want to see here is I want to see trap traders. I want to see longs that are breakouts that are looking for that. Now take note up here, right? You've got golden zone and 50 right here at this level. So I've got algo support here as well, because whether or not it breaks or not, an algo will fire up here. Now they're teasing again. Data lag. Vita Nix has a data lag. Well, that's a bummer. I've had that problem as well. Although lately it's been good, but God, I used to call Erwin 4 times a week saying, my data, right? Like, please fix. And it was,
you have too many charts open.
Yeah. Well, that's why eventually I just had to go to the ES only. I would have 6 markets open. I would have 30 charts open, and Ninja couldn't.
Yeah. The funny thing is that NinjaTrader says that if you have a multi-core PC, that each market you open, so for example ES, NNQ, and YM, gets assigned to a different core. But I never saw that happening. I think it's just shared. So any lag you have.
Well, that was supposedly the huge upgrade in 8 was that if you had multi-core, which I do, but then I switched to 4K, and then I had all sorts of trouble with that. But I don't think it all worked out. It just by going to just one market. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 charts open. One
thing I noticed which makes a huge difference is the graphics card.
Oh yeah.
For example, I'm now using my laptop here, which has an internal Intel card and also a NVIDIA gaming card, all in this laptop. And by default, NinjaTrader will use the internal Intel card, and then it's so slow and it's so lagging. But if you switch it over to the NVIDIA card, then it's blazingly fast.
Yeah, mine's good now too. The money's not in the monitors. The money's in the card. That's where
exactly. Yeah. 470. Yeah, that's perfect. But yeah, if you have NVIDIA, I can maybe show you how you can set that up. Or do you still want to see the Madonna trade first, Sam?
It looks like it's pushing away, like so that the tick isn't right. So go ahead and do it.
Okay, so let me share my screen.
Yeah, go for it.
There it is. So if you open the NVIDIA control panel, where is it? There it is. You can set here the tab program settings. And then if you select NinjaTrader, like I've done here. And you can then here select the high performance NVIDIA processor. By default, it was using the integrated graphics, and that makes it very slow. But setting it to the NVIDIA made it very fast for me. And that fixes my lag. May not be for you, but solved it for me. Okay.
See, so now the tick is not ideal for this trade. You want to be at minimum over about 600 is ideal. So you get the reaction. Now they could be, we could have lingered here long enough that they're gonna bring the muscle. You'll see it. You'll see it when they want to, because they know, right? They know they got to break an algo there. So there's the big push. The tick is not right for it. You might get the reaction. You gotta get those guys trapped that are right there at 455. You probably got your scalps out. You probably got 4 or 5 ticks there. But they're coming right into that support there. Those guys are going to hold it.
Go away.
The tick is still not good.
No.
You might get it, but you see how it's coming back to where that size is, where those POCs are? Let's see if they turn it here. It's got to go a ways down to get anybody trapped here. And you see that you don't have your auto fibs, but there's at 4111. There's also size in the book there.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you get already? Right, you've got 8 ticks. Now there's the kickback, right? So that could have taken your Sam. Would you have gone long once you crossed above the POC? Let's see. I'm not sure where you mean, Ivan. The POCs here. You mean on the candlesticks, or pardon me, on
these PC?
Not sure where you mean, Ivan. He might be talking about. Let me bring this up here. This here, would I've gone long here? Well, not necessarily. I try and keep my entries as close to the McGinley as I can, right? So I'm right now. The only trade that I see here would be the potential for this to kick up here and then come back here to all of that structure. Come to here and then go again. Now you got to get through that. So you never want to assume that's going to break, because that will be the defense, right? The bears. It's always a battle, right? The whole point of it is that if we break outside, that brings in the higher time frame traders. If we stay in the IB, especially if it's a narrow IB like we have today, they're not interested. This is a relatively narrow IB. Right, and pre-employment report, we could stay in the IB, but this is not set up nicely, right? So you got a little reaction, right? Tradable. I would not have taken that one because the tick wasn't really ideal, but you're going to get the reaction, right? You'd have your scalps out. So that becomes just kind of a judgment as to whether you want to take that or not. Here, let me get you out of here. Well, here's the. Here, we looked at that. That's the POC. Can I get that out of there? Break here? No, I would not have taken that. I like to do retracements, right? So I would have been looking for this. That I would have taken. So as it sits there right now, I just do this, right? Say, okay, well, there's a pivot. Looks like we're doing something like this. What the only assumption I would make here is that if we break, there's going to be a push to come up and get to a new high. Now, one thing to note here, as we just talked about this, look where it pivots, right at the imbalance. right? The low volume node. So the only thing that wasn't there for that trade to fly was the tick wasn't right. So this is just, it's almost an unfair advantage, right? When you get that's the benefit of the tick for the ES and the YM. We get that extra bit of data. The NQ tick is, I find it worthless. So the same, right, as we were talking about, right? That was the, right, it just came up and double topped it. Also happens to be a golden zone. This is a 50. You got a little golden zone there. Now this would be, I'd be looking on the long side now. Right in here looks pretty interesting. If we can come right into this pocket. So if it now here, this is a good example. So if I'm trading this, I might start with micros here, and if I get the bounce here, I might quickly come over to full size here and go for it. I think there's benefit in so I'll have one side micros and one side full size, and I'll go back and forth between the two all day, depending on how's my day going. You know, if I'm up early, you know, I might switch to micros just to kind of protect that. If I've got 600-700 already in the account on the day, I don't want to give that back. So I might ease. I don't want to stop trading necessarily, but I might ease into micros. Something like this, right? Perfect example. Well, so here on the micros here now, it's different, right? This is half the size, because I'm looking for a little bit more activity over here. So if we come right into this low volume here, which it doesn't show as low volume on the 2000, right? It's only showing it on the 987. Again, I'm just using the fib number. Imbalance, right? We're coming back to it. Anywhere in here would be of interest to me. I'd be looking right there if I could get that. You know, the other thing, here's a good example of the edge. If you're looking at it, the trades that you want, right, particularly if you're using momentum, is when we're cleanly outside here and we have a narrow, right, the Bollinger Bands, we often termed as the river. We have a narrow river. So here, it's got to cross the river. For this to get very negative, we got to cross the river, break the other side, break the zero line. All of this has to come down here. Where I look at it here, the other thing to watch for is the center line, right? You'd be surprised how often the center line will be your rejection point. So if we come to this center line here, you can kind of visualize that. Okay, if I'm coming to the center line here, now I'm in a squeeze, right? So from contraction comes expansion. If we come back into here and I pop that midline, and I'm looking for something like that. Do we get it? Now, I'd like to see the RSI, right? The advanced decline is just a fancy RSI. I'd like to see that get on the other side. And the same with the VZO. I want to get it on the other side of +5, right? Because that means we're trending. We get the ADX is kicking. It's over 18 when we go over +5. So, and we get the green tint, right? So I can see buyers are coming in. Now, we didn't quite get it here. We stayed in the river, and it might go early, right? So you didn't quite get. Now, I don't want to chase that right into support, and I've got low volume up there, and I've got a golden zone. I don't want to chase that. See, look at all the shit here that can create problems for you. I don't want to assume any of that's going to break. I want to assume that all of that's going to hold until I see it break. Right now, we're going to pop out here. Well, do I want to buy right now, or as we're going into high ticks? I don't. No, I don't.
At the high of today.
Right. Okay, so into the imbalance. We're still in the river and we're still in a squeeze. So I don't want to chase that. And I got all of these things that it could react to, right? I promise you there's an algo tied to every one of those pivots, right? Everything right there. The pivot point, the pre-market mid, the low volume, the session high, the directional pivot, yesterday's close, the low volume node, golden zones, prior pivot, all of that, there's algos tied to all of it. So how this is where having the footprint is invaluable, because I can see, okay, what's happening here? These guys just made a fairly big push, but this is where looking at in the intra candle can be helpful. That's not big size. That's not heavy muscle. There's a little more POCs up here, but this is, mid-size volume here. They're not bringing the big guns here. So we're kind of just waffling up here. That now, one thing you'll notice is that gravity has a way of affecting the market, because whales look at this and they go, all right, fuck it, right? If there's no new highs coming, if I can't get a new high, take it down. We'll get a better price. We'll come back at it, which is often what, and the longer it stays up here, the higher probability that it's going to drop, right? Because there's no new high coming. So I mean, if you could, wouldn't you do the same thing? If I could just drop enough size in there to bring it back down, so I could take out all the weak longs, happens all day long, right? The long chasers, they get punished because they're trading breakouts. Again, I could be posting up a nice, hooked again, right? How did the breakout traders do there? How did this breakout trader do? How about this guy? Right? What are they breaking? They think they're breaking the session high over here, right? That's the single worst place to enter the market. My opinion. I'm trying to get you guys not to do that because I know I'm going to save you losses, heartache, and frustration. Going, shit, I thought it was going to go.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, at the high of the day, you should be looking for shorts.
Exactly, right? That's what a professional is looking for at high of the day. And it's a liquidity, right? What do we know is up here? Stops. Yeah. Right? We know there's stops, right? So they can go grab that liquidity and then they just bend them over. And like, oh man, it looked like, it's going to go to yesterday's close, right? Be careful of that. You fill it in your mind's eye. You think, I see where it's going. It's going up here. Careful of that thinking. And by the way, in addition to everything else we just looked at, look at what else is over here. Whole lot of golden zones, right? And just knowing they're there, it's not that they can't break, but there'll be a reaction. There'll be software that will fire at each one of them. Do you want to trade into that? Well, I better see some big muscle if I'm going to see that. They may try again, right? If anything, if you could get this with high ticks. So the Madonna was a successful trade here, even though I would have passed on it. You see, the thing, you don't want to take that trade if it's so, because I will do a 3 lot. Often I'll do a 6 lot. So if it's so and I take it anyway and I get spanked there, then I'm kind of kicking myself going, come on, man, you know better than that. So it has to set, almost all trades, right, have to set up just right. You can't do this trade in micro, so you can't like tiptoe in. It's all in or all or nothing. Okay, so they're bringing some size. But the tick's not if we were up here, I'd be looking to sell that. Now look where we are in the imbalance. Right to the pivot, right to the pre-market high. I'd be cautious there. So who can get in trouble here? Right? That's what I'm looking for. Well, these guys just made a big effort. These guys, right? If it starts to tank here, these guys are going to have to cover. Right. So now you got an imbalance down here, but if they can hold here, then they might. Do you want to buy right into the pre-market mid, right into a 50, right into a golden zone prior pivot? I'm not buying into any of that. I wouldn't risk it.
And this is where the footprint shows you a lot, right? We just had a bar with more than average volume, and look at this bar. Where are the buyers?
Here, bring yours up.
They're nowhere. Bring mine up. Okay.
Yeah. How do I? Yeah, there we go.
I mean, here we had a push higher. We had a delta close almost at its high, and then the next bar. Where are they?
Where's the follow through? Right. So now they're. I mean, worried,
you expect them to go higher. I mean, if this is really big buyers present here, but. Seems like just a stop one.
So what did they do? They grabbed they literally just did exactly what we were describing. They went up there, grabbed the liquidity.
Exactly. Yeah.
And now all those guys, because it wasn't enough size in that candle to really create a big move. You got a 177, you got a 96, a 69. That's not big enough. Now they may come back and go again, but those breakout traders may have already covered. That's pretty good wick rejection down here. And note, we are still in a squeeze and we have a very, very narrow river, right? So it would be easy to pop to the outside, which we just did. Narrow river, careful there. Note also, if you look at the RSI, massive divergence, and same with the VZO. You got plenty of divergence here, and look what's happening. You got to look for it, right? You got to scan the horizon constantly. Okay, we're still in a squeeze though, right? So the expectation is from contraction comes expansion. So you're anticipating something comes out of that squeeze. So the squeeze is like, hey, pay attention. Now they can go for a long time, which is frustrating and boring, but look at the prior squeeze, right? What came out of that? This entire ramp up. The squeeze before that, the drop down. That's heads up. That's why I want the squeeze on the chart so I don't miss it. So I don't think, oh fuck, I forgot to look. It is a squeeze. McGinley River has them right in the middle, right? So you can't miss it if you're not using the edge, which has it on the center line. All right, here they come. They're going to go again. We went right to the pivot, to the daily pivot. Excuse me. Look below, right? There's not. Well, there's a little more size coming in now. I don't know if you have Bookmap up, but there's some 15 and 16 and 19. There's some size up there. That's likely going to be tied to all of this, right? All of these pivots here, and then look over here, right? Don't forget those golden zones up there, and imbalances up there. I'd be looking for shorts up here. Not big swings, but short. I'd be looking for scalps with a runner. Now we're still in a squeeze, but we just broke out. Look at the tiny, very narrow river, right? We just broke out of it.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so now that's still not a lot of size. It's still not big numbers. Look, so you look at yours 34, 121. They're not huge. Now it's getting a little meatier. Now they're coming. Watch the tick. To the next imbalance. Yesterday's close. All right, they're starting to go now. All they did was go to the next imbalance and the next golden zone. The book is relatively clear up here. They just hit the golden zone. They hit one of the golden zones. When you get this far, now you're looking at it going, okay, well, now the IB is the support. So if we come back to it, I'd be looking for buys there. Because bulls are going to do everything they can to try and keep it out to bring in the higher time frame traders. So we went right to the directional pivot, back to the imbalance, back to the IB high. Where's the tick? Now that wouldn't be a good bar to be just blindly putting a limit order to buy there. I'd want to see it bounce off of it. Still, I wouldn't be buying the highs of the day at a golden zone.
No, I mean if it came back here at the trend channel, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you have to have a pullback, but not here.
Yeah, it's just not. You just don't have good eye. You have no edge here.
No,
it would be a pull and pray. We go to about noon. You think? Up to the next imbalance. If it's going to clear here, there's a little bit of size at 416 on yesterday's close. That's not surprising.
And this is the hard part of trading, right?
Just
waiting for your setup.
Yeah, it is.
Sometimes you get three per 10 minutes, and then you get 2 hours of nothing.
Yep, very true. Right, the first 90 minutes and the last 90 minutes usually.
Yeah,
where the money is made. Good idea to not. Once we hit noon to 1:30, take a break. Right, you rarely. I mean, it happens, right? You know, the day that you take a break, you'll have a massive move.
True.
I always used to do my videos then, and it never failed. There would be a massive move.
Let's see. Do we have any more questions? I don't think so. At the moment.
Golden zones are appearing from Ivan. Hey, here we got a bunch of questions. Okay, on the Vine profile. Okay, I think I handled that one. Have you ever started your day in sim with 10 MES long contracts and one screen and one ES short just to get a feel? Well, yeah, but that's similar to what I was talking about before, where you're just using micros to kind of, put a foot in. So it can be just an easy way to get started into the day. Maybe you bank $100, right? So if you're taking a 2 lot or a 3 lot on the next one, you have a little cushion. I always like to get a little cushion before I go into any size, just to offset it in case I'm wrong.
I used to do that. The first trade of the day was always a sim trade for me.
I think first trade, if you're doing micros, if you have them both up, right? If you can do both.
Yeah, too.
That's pre-micros, right? Micros now, it's a buck.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Kind of a steady grind. Toe in the water, it balances out your account, right? I've noticed, right? Can you show me the NVIDIA control? We did that. The golden zones are appearing from the auto fibs. That's right, Ivan. Yes, they are appearing from the auto fibs. The auto fibs always shows you the futures. The measured move shows you the past.
So here's the NVIDIA control panel, Ivan. Make it a little bit smaller. Where you can select the program here with add. You select NinjaTrader and then you put it on high performance.
This is a pretty steady little grind they got going here. This is just a slow, very, very little, not much of a pullback. So you can't chase this. It's frustrating, right? It's tempting to go, oh, fuck it, I'll just YOLO in for a long, right? But look at all those golden zones you're about to tap. I just think that you couldn't pay me to buy into that. Oh, I suppose you could pay me. Chum in the water, right? Well, we just broke the highs, right? So they're kind of a slow grind here. They're doing it, right? They're going. There's a 385 lot at 418, so they're grinding up here. Let's go over to the 2000.
Question for you, Sam.
Oh, let's see.
No, for me.
Oh.
If you open a trade, right? Do you have a particular time or number of bars that it should go, and otherwise you close it, or?
That's for you or for me?
That's for you.
Oh, for me. Oh, no.
No.
No, I put no limit on time, or I'm watching that stop. I'm watching the market react. Now, if it stalls, if anything, it's kind of up to the individual, right? So for me, if I'm up 300 or 400 and I give it back, that pisses me off way more than if I got out of something early. All right. So, if I have a target, right? It's always a question of what am I about to hit? What's above me or below me, right? If I'm coming into something and I'm anticipating a reaction, I will either get very tight with a trailing stop, or I'll just take, if I've got enough profit to support the trade, I'll just take it out. But I'm not thinking about length of time, other than if I'm in something and we're up at highs and it's stagnating, I know that the tendency will be for that to drift lower if they don't continue. So right now, as we're watching it, if they don't continue to grind out new highs, whales will dump it.
Yeah.
and right now the IB high looks like beautiful support. You got the McGinley's right there. So the McGinley on the 2000 is literally on top of the IB high. So if we come back to that, and there's an order block right below it as well. So that I don't leave limit orders sitting in the market, but if we come back to that, I'd have finger on trigger. Just out of curiosity.
Well, not much happening. Any more questions, guys?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll call this an end because the market is not really doing anything.
This is a good format. I like this format where they can ask all these questions. It's good for them, I think.
Yeah. Now's your time.
Yeah. All right. Now or never. Now or next Thursday.
Exactly.
I'll come back on Tuesday. And by the way, you guys, if there's something you want me to focus on in the live stream or a particular indicator combo, right? I tried to mix it up so that you like, this is one I use often. But I tried to essentially getting, well, shit, that's a 687. Oh shit. This one here, right? This one I use a lot for a 2000 tick, but I was trying to change it up here because essentially it's the same thing. Similar. I got momentum, I got an RSI, and I've got some volume, some representation of volume. It's just a question of what do you get used to? I love the edge, right? Because of that center line bounce. Right? If you go back and you look through how does it react in the river, out of the river, in the river, and kind of study it. I think there's a lot of benefit to that. But certainly, now just look here. So if I just use this, right? So here's the squeeze right here, right? So what comes out of the squeeze, right? Nice ramp. We go into another squeeze. What comes out of it, right? Here's the early morning squeeze. What comes out of that? The drop. Here's the early morning squeeze. What comes out of that, right? The first push up, right? That's incredibly consistent, right? That was one of the great gifts to TA from John Carter is the squeeze. We got from contraction comes this expansion. Now look here. So this would be, I'd be chomping at the bit right here, right? I'd be watching that because that's overdone and we got a new tick high of the day. So it's not, you got to watch for it here. Let me see. Hang on. I'll come down here. All right. When you get that hot at golden zones, I'm looking for any signs of weakness here. Now you got a pretty good ripper here. Let's get it. They mean business, right? You can kind of tell, right, how serious they are. That's a pretty good push. This, right, you got a fair value gap and the pre-market high up here where there's an algo that reacts at the pre-market high. If I could get that at a high tick, I'd be interested as well. You got a lot of, so look how far that has to go. Where do these guys get into trouble? Not, well, really until underneath there. It'd be under that, right? That's where they launched from. Look at the distance from the McGinley. We're a long way off here. This pivot would be important to me because I know that's important to the market right there. That pivot, that the auto fibs, right? That's a hidden little gem that Erwin built into the auto fibs that you guys don't realize, and you auto fib traders probably recognize that. But that's a prior pivot that could be going back 2-3 days, right? But that was an important pivot to the market. Now, if we hold in here, right, we likely go up again. Now, a little softness. I'd want to see it break that because I know that was potentially support. You're not as good here, right? Because you've neutralized the tick, right? So that extreme has been balanced out. Now, that may be what takes it up. Now, these, do you see here? Look at there's a 640 right there. This is some size down here. Watch how that holds the market. There's the first toe, right? So what's happening here to these guys? Right, these guys getting nervous. That's a 700 lot.
Two questions for you.
Oh, sorry. What do you use the McGinley on your footprint? That's the same 21. The only change I make is when I go to a 2-minute, I use a 10. On every other chart, I use a 21 McGinley because that just seemed, it would be very close to, if you don't have the McGinley, it's very close to an EMA. It's give you a little bit. So, you've seen on my other chart, I use an EMA and the McGinley. The McGinley always leads it just a little bit. That's why I use it. See, so there we broke this, right? So that was the last chance. Now we're coming right back down here. Here's the fair value gap. And that could potentially be the support. So, right, do you see what just happened here? Right. From this, no follow through. These guys are now clenching, right? They're probably covering, right? So they have to sell, right, to get out of their longs. We come right back to the support. Right. Swing, retrace, swing, retrace. Let's see what I have over here. This is a 21 and a 55, right? Where I put the McGinleys in the center line just to fatten it up. That's the McGinley River, but that's a 55 McGinley. And this is the 21 McGinley. So both of these are kind of magnets to the market, right? You'll see the market, especially when we go flat. That tends to be where they stay, where the market comes back to. So if I were looking here for a trade, I'd be looking for any of this. Well, shit, that's not what I want. Any of this down here would be of interest to me. I got note, right? You might even fatten that up a little, right? Not that we went through so quickly here. These are still imbalance zones. So if we come back down here, now I want to see a decent signal bar. And I would like this to be at least below, down in the minus 400 range. So it has room to recycle. Still in the river, right? Ideally, I don't want to see that go to the other side, but that's a fairly narrow. Now there's a little bit. That's a fairly narrow river, easy to get through. RSI is under the signal line, right? So you got kind of mixed signals here. So do you want to force one here? Well, I sure as hell wouldn't buy it. Not here, not right at the imbalance. Right? Remember, there is no swing, right? This is the bitch of it, right? So whether we're swinging here, whenever we do that, and you're thinking, a lower high, it's going to break. There's always going to be a golden zone here. Just as now, and it's annoying. It's a pain in the ass, right? There's one right here. You're like, oh fuck, man, can I buy it or do I sell it? Doesn't matter how small they are. There's one always there. It's annoying. Truth be told, I was like, God damn it, there's another one there. They're all over the place. So when you can find a spot on your chart where you've got room to move, that's when you want to be aggressive, right? When you've got distance until the next one. But this would be right back to the McGinley, right? That's kind of a good home base because I can trade that. Let's see if I do it this way. Will that do it? Let's see if I do. I think I have to do the stop first, right? So if I do something like that, okay, I mean, relatively low amount of risk there. I might actually bring that down and see if I can get it something like that. If I can get that in that range, then I might be after that next imbalance. If I could get it down here, that's when I'd be kind of eyeballing. Let's see if it lets me do that. Can you move that? I guess you have to do it like that. So that would be 3-to-1 risk reward. It's not a lot of risk. I'd want to be on the other side of the IB on the assumption the IB is my support. I've got the 55 McGinleys coming up right here. If we break, you're kind of in that pocket between the 21 and the 55. But look what's here, imbalance. All that stuff we were saying, well, I wouldn't buy into it. Well, it got through. And so now we're coming back to it. That's potentially the area of support. That's what I'd be looking for right there. Now, I may not get it. Well, the other thing to note here is we had pretty good question. Like, is this all one swing here? Looks like you went sideways. So it looks like you've got, let's draw it up. If we do it this way, right, I got a pretty fat channel. So all one. So I'd be looking at over here. Did we break two standard deviation or two ATRs? We didn't, right? So here's the first break of two ATRs on a 2000. Look what we ran into, right? Remember we were saying, boy, I wouldn't want to buy into all those golden zones. Wouldn't want to buy into all those golden zones. Well, somebody did, right? Somebody always does. right here. This would be of interest over on the 2000. So you're coming right back to the McGinley. Now here, this is what I was showing you before. Note the McGinley is always slightly ahead. That's a 21 McGinley and a 21 EMA. And I just noticed if I put them right together, look at every single squeeze we've had today. Okay. When we come out of the squeeze, if the McGinley is ahead of the EMA, look at the direction we go. We come out of the squeeze. Where's the McGinley to the EMA? Right. It's above it. Here, above it, above it, above it. Well, let's see if I can find a squeeze over here. No squeeze, no squeeze. Here's a squeeze. What size is, well, that's the start of the session, but what size is the McGinley relative to the EMA? Little observation. It always leads it just slightly.
Ivan has a question, I guess.
Ivan, what is the footprint telling us now? You want to take that one, Erwin?
Yeah, I was just looking at this huge bar here. Seeing if we could have a delta trap, and not sure if you guys know what a delta trap is.
But yeah, you should go over that for them.
It's basically trap traders, right? People who are buying up here, and you can see the delta is way above average. I mean, if you look to the left, well, here you have a nice one, but 1400, it doesn't appear that often. So I was looking at this bar, and then for the next 2 or 3 bars, what I want to see is all that delta canceled out. So if in the next 2 or 3 bars, we see negative delta, which is higher than this 1400, and we see a value area gap like we see here, where
that's a
great value
example.
area here and the value area there, where there's a gap in between. That's a very nice setup. Now we didn't get it here, so, and market still continues higher. But if we scroll back a little bit, put some arrows, then we can see one here, for example, where we have the reverse with minus 1100 delta, which it gets cancelled out in the next 2 bars with 1350 plus delta. And you can see the indicator also noting it with a marker, and I guess you can also put on the stripes if you want. Let me see it, the delta strip there. And you can see, well, this was a nice trade. So that would be the things I would be looking for at the end of the trend or at the swing high. Here's another one where you can see the negative delta of minus 600 gets cancelled out directly afterwards. So if you are starting with footprint, then this is already a very nice setup. Here's another one which would have been a winner. But of course, you should only look at them at the correct context, right? I mean,
yeah, because if you put your stripes on, you'll have nothing but stripes, right? There's a signal every other bar.
Yeah, well, the delta traps don't occur that much.
Yeah, that's my point. Being you don't want to turn everything on, or every bar will be.
Correctly. Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah. So that was what I was looking for at this. Let me go to the end. But yeah, we didn't get it. It's just a slow grind higher, and
it is a slow grind higher.
Yeah, you can already see it if you put the bar value areas of where are the point of controls. Well, it's just here, maybe a little bit higher. It's
that's a good way to use it. Just looking for that confluence.
Yeah, I mean there is no clear trend at the moment. It's just slow grind higher.
Yeah. And don't ignore the shape of the bar, the way it closes on the footprint. That's also telling you as well. That's right, Dorian. Yep, very good. And where's the POC, right? That's another just.
Yeah, it's always where is value. I mean, and if you see multiple POCs stacked on a level, and it doesn't have to be the same level. I mean, it can be a tick or two higher or lower. Then you know we're just chopping around. You can see it also here. All those POCs lining up. Here we have 1 bar going lower, and 3 bars lining up. Here it's all in this middle. So I hope that answers your question, Ivan. But
all right, there's 12 noon.
Yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you next Thursday. Thanks for hanging out with us. I think this ends up on our YouTube, right? So anyone who wants to watch later. All right. So we'll call it a day.
Yep.
All right. See you guys.
Bye-bye.